program, we have Janelle Clark and Bonnie Lodge Over the Ocean.
That neglects its heritage loses what it has. We must always look into our past with pride and thanksgiving. Let's look into the past briefly. The first Burns concert was held in Kincardine, which was then Stonehaven, in the schoolhouse in 1893. This tradition has continued. In 1895, that was 102 years ago, the Burns Club was organized and the membership fee was 5 cents. The first hall Burns, and this one was built in 1909. There are Burns clubs in every nook and cranny in Scotland where they recall the poems and songs of their national bard, Bobby Burns. He was born near Ayr, Scotland, in a two-room cottage, Dulcam Clay, on January the 25th, 1759. He was the eldest son of a tenant farmer. Had his father been richer, Robert Burns' life might have been different. His father was ambitious for his children. He gave them all the education he could afford, as well as encouraged them to read. Robert often read, even while eating his meals. He began his writing career as a young dreamer, age 14. He continued writing until his death, in spite of periods of ill health. Burns' people were tenant farmers who early learned to appreciate the beauty of nature and the hard lot of poverty. After his father's death, Robert Burns, with his brother Gilbert, had tried farming the old farm to support the family. And during this time, Burns wrote some of his best poems. In 1788, he took a new farm at Ellisland. And that same year, he married Jean Armour. The next year, he accepted a position of exciseman, and this gave him a small income for the rest of his life. In 1791, Burns moved to Dumfries, where he lived until his death on July 21st, 1796. Burns had worked hard all his life, both at farming and official duties. He had supported his wife and children, but to write Scottish songs to be set to Scottish tunes was his greatest delight. He felt that in this way his fame would be immortal. Burns' poems owe much of their popularity to the fact that these melodies, moods, and memories had belonged for centuries to the people of Scotland. But it took the poetic ability of Robert Burns to make folks more aware of their ancestry. 238 years after his birth, it is still with a deep sense of pride that we gather at Burns Hall tonight to honor Robbie Burns and to look into our past with pride and thanksgiving. And while I'm up here, I'd like to mention 4 names. They'll know who I'm talking about. Dorothy and Isabel, Sadie and Ethel.
Leslie, Sarah, and Kathleen Farquhar, Mary May the hero. Next, we have a skit, Farewell to Aunt Biddy. Kate Martin LaFrance, Melody, Anthony, and Nathaniel Mathis.
Mr. and Mrs. Willow are a young married couple. Aunt Biddy is a thin, wrinkled, cross-looking old lady. She has been staying with them for some time, if you know what I mean. The scene opens in the living room when the dawn is home.
Oh, William, it's happened at last.
What's happened?
It's Aunt Biddy.
What's she complaining about now?
Nothing. She's
Well, it's about the first time in 3 months that she hasn't been.
finally decided to leave.
Has somebody hurt her feelings?
No, she's just decided to go visit your brother Robert for a while.
Poor Robert. Goodbye, any money she might leave us in her will.
What about me? I have to tiptoe around all the time. She's using my bedroom. I can't have any friends over.
I can't cook a thing that pleases her. The house is either too hot or too cold. She doesn't like the way I dress. I waste too much money.
Well, if she's finally really leaving, we ought to be grateful. We should get a good slice of money in her will. After all, none of her other relatives can stand her.
It'll have to be a mighty good slice after what we've been through.
Yeah, like about $1 zillion.
We might have some peace and quiet now. It'll be like heaven.
But William, she never forgive us if we weren't properly sad when she leaves.
You're right, that would never do. If we can put on a real sorrowful act, it should be good for our $5,000 in our will.
I think I could even squeeze out a few tears if I try hard. Do you think you could, kid?
No way.
Off you go then, before you cost us money.
I think I hear her coming. Now remember, don't be shy about the sore and regret.
Well, I'm going. Why you people came to live in this place, I'll never understand. The miserable climate, the stupid people, the flies. It's enough to drive out any reasonable person. Well, goodbye, William. Remember all my business advice. Mark my words, if you keep going the way you are, you'll be bankrupt in a month. Goodbye, Kitty. I hope your cooking improves by the time I get back. Oh, wait, Aunt Biddy, you're not really going, are you? Do I look like I'm staying?
We really enjoyed your stay, Aunt Biddy. I'm ever so grateful for your business advice, you know.
You should be. You need somebody to give you some. I don't know what we'll ever do without you. We'll be so lonely.
Sometimes I think we really haven't said just how much we appreciate your company.
Your housekeeping advice has been so useful to me.
It will seem like a different house without you in it. It sure will.
Well, I'm glad you appreciate it.
Oh, we did. We're ever so sorry to see you leave.
Are you sure? Oh, yes. Dear Aunt Biddy, we're simply heartbroken. Well, since you feel that way about it, I'll stay. I suppose I could put myself out for your sake.
Good grief! But of course, Aunt Biddy, we wouldn't dream of having you inconvenience yourself on our account.
I hope you'll be properly grateful and start listening when I tell you how to run your business and you how to keep house.
Oh, but really, Aunt Biddy, we wouldn't dream of having you inconvenience yourself.
Now see here, do you want me to stay or don't you? Yeah.
Certainly, Aunt Biddy.
Well then, I'm going upstairs to unpack my things. And will you please, for once in your life, have supper on time? Now, see what you've done?
What I've done? Say, whose idea was this phony sorrow anyway? Now see what you've done. Now get on the phone right now and call our brother Robert. If you won't go stay with him, I will.
We all will. Let's go.
Next, we have a skit. Always a surprise with Mavis, Millie, and Gail.
No matter how much he studies, there's one thing he can't figure out, and that is why Solomon was considered to be such a wise man.
Why's that? Well, Solomon was a wise man, you know, and he built a great temple. And I hear he had a number of wives.
Well, that's a person can't figure out how he ever found time to build a temple. I'm telling you, it would be wise for anybody to have more than one wife. How Winston can figure out how Solomon ever paid his hairdressing bill for all those wives. And how did he ever provide them with chariots? I don't suppose there's any insurance on them in those days, though. But Winston has all he can do to provide for one the way she runs around.
That's true. She never stopped going over the house.
Maybe Solomon's wife stayed at home and he didn't have that problem. Like, just like Norma used to stay home and wait on Paul.
Oh, poor soul. I hear Paul's seeing a psychologist now.
That's what I hear. He's just confused.
What's he seeing a psychologist for?
Well, he just can't figure out what's going on. When he and Norma were first married, he'd come home and she'd meet him at the door with a kiss and the dog would bark. And now, when he comes home, the dog meets him with a kiss and Norma barks.
Make a lot of changes. Now, you know, Doug, how even-tempered and gentle he used to be. Well, the other day I was up there, and Leslie came in crying, saying that Daddy had hit his thumb with a hammer. And I said, well, I couldn't figure out why she was crying. And I said, well, now, I don't imagine he hurt it very bad, Leslie. It will soon get better. And if I were you, I wouldn't cry. I would just laugh about it. And she said, well, that's the trouble. I did laugh.
Some people can be so harsh and miserable, just like that Bob LaFrance. Now, they tell me that he spent good money to buy some kind of a trap to catch a poor little mouse. What an example he would be for his children.
Oh, that surprises me, Millie. You think he put out some cheese? He had such a friendly little critter. Just imagine a big man like him chasing a little mouse with a broom.
I know, but you know, they say he's got a cat now in the house, and it sneaks up on those mice very quiet-like. Now, if Bob just knows enough to keep his mouth shut and not spread it on everywhere and tell it in all the newspapers so he gets in trouble again.
It is one slick glass. You want to put it in the newspaper, I don't. Geraldine and I used to go up there and get a few apples to make some pies after he was asleep, of course. What did he do? He cut all the trees down and planted little small ones so that he could see over them.
Well, he didn't realize those trees are going to grow.
I doubt that he'd be smart enough. With any luck at all, they'll grow enough. Geraldine and I'll get a few pies out of those apples to dish yet.
Good idea.
Well, Millie, at your age, I wouldn't count too much on that. Why, they're awfully slow in growing. And really, you'll just have as much chance of picking apples there as any of us would to win the jackpot playing bingo.
Well, speaking about bingo, I wonder when we get to heaven, are they going to have a bingo and a non-bingo section?
Oh, I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. I don't think it's a bit worse to play bingo than it is to play cards. And I can tell you one thing. There's a big rush on around here. I won't mention any names, of course, but I'll tell you there's a big rush on. And the wires are busy on the telephone when somebody's playing card games.
Well, I should say, I get so tired of hurrying and hurrying. And that Earl, when the phone rings, and if it's Ruby or Sadie or Ethel calling to say, come and have a game of cards, well, you should see him. He hurries just as fast as he can hurry, and he's ready in 5 minutes and ready to go. And here I am, when you can't just go. Well, the other night I was in there, I suppose only half an hour or 3/4, but I was ready for that. And Earl was out there. I could hear him pacing back and forth and muttering away, saying, people are so slow. Can't she ever get it ready? And then he called in, Mavis, can't you hurry doing anything? And I said, real smart like, I said, yes, I can. I can get tired in a hurry. Boy, that shut him up.
That's right. We have to stick up for our rights. You know the old crowd's getting mature. Even Leonard and Olga's gone to town. But I hear that Leonard, he just made everything spick and span up there in the hills before he left.
Oh, that's what they tell me. And Jerry hasn't got one thing to do. Why, he just sits in front of the TV on the Chesterfield all day long. I bet he watches some of the girly shows, too. And you know, they say he even invented a toilet seat in the Chesterfield.
Toilet in the Chesterfield. Never heard of it like that. So how did he go out there after he had his pants down?
throwing appeals right and left. Well, anyway, if somebody would drive into the gas tank with some gas, Richard would hurry out, forgetting about those feelings, and he'd step on one and down he'd go. And after that happened 2 or 3 times, he wasn't in a very good mood, and the air was pretty blue. So Teresa said, I think you better go to church, Richard. And Richard said, all right, but she said, you have a cup of coffee before you go.
I suppose that she wanted to be sure to stay away.
Well, you know, Richard, he went and made the percolator clear full of coffee, 8 cups. And you know Teresa, she never wants anything go to waste. She made him drink all 8 cups of coffee. Well, just to make a long story short, wasn't that today the minister had a long sermon. And I'm telling you, 8 cups of coffee and a long-winded sermon don't mix.
It's a wonder he goes back to church. Maybe he will, but I bet he takes it easy on his coffee. By the way, Millie, you aren't drinking anything. Aren't you going to have something? What are you here for, anyway?
I don't think that it's any concern of yours that I don't like coffee. I didn't, what I really came for, Mavis, you see, I'm planning a trip to Florida. And
I did something about that.
I'd like to borrow your bikini to wear on the beach while I'm down there.
Pardon me? Borrow my bikini? Well, the nerve of you. You know, I'm not lending that to anyone. I put it up. I put a new one for Christmas. And I just put it away. And I'm not lending it to anyone. I'm just going to wait and wear it this summer out on when I lay out on the lawn. Get it
You
good
keep
in.
it then, and I hope you get a good burn.
I got my bikini right here. My sheets are right all out of and you can look, I'm not letting it to you either.
We'll now have Kate and Marjorie LaFrance for Mary. medley with Kate LaFrance. Now we're going to have Marjorie join Kate for Laddie Play. Next on the list is Holly Farquhar, Swallowtail Beach. Next we have men's chorus, Road to the Isles, accompanied by Holly. Next will be Lawrence LaFrance and Eliane Morton. My love is like a red rose. Now we've got Kate on the pipe, Lawrence LaFrance on the fiddle, Bob LaFrance on the bass guitar, Isabel on the piano. 100 pipers, 10 yours on, and along with it.
played for you. We couldn't find any new ones, so we picked an old one. I think it was around 1600. Skyboat song. We're going to do one by Powers Redberg for you.
Almond Groves,